Gencon is only days away and I'm absolutely pumped. Now let's go check out what I think are the best games that are being displayed and demoed at Gencon 2022. Now let's start with two expansions for some of my favourite nature games. First one, Parks Wildlife. Parks Wildlife, we're introducing a large wandering bison that's going to move along your park cards and grant bonuses to players that visit those parks. It's also going to be new trail sites, fresh canteens, new gear and more season cards. After Parks, let's go to the beautiful nature game Meadow, and we have Meadow Downstream. Meadow Downstream, we're going to add 80 new cards all around the aquatic environments, with the main mechanism being this new kayaking mechanism, which is going to score us extra points for progressing down the river. Now the next two games. These are games that are based off absolute classic board games, with the first one being Tokaido Duo. Now, in the original Tokaido back in 2012, you were traveling along this beautiful Japanese road. You were visiting temples, taking panoramas, meeting people, eating beautiful food. Now let's move all that onto an island and it's just the two of you doing the exact same thing, seeing that beautiful scenery on that island. Now, the next one has been in the pipeline for a little bit. They originally announced the new updated work for Great Western Trail, but on top of that, they also announced Great Western Trail Argentina and New Zealand. So look, Argentina's ready to go and it's going to be at Gencon this year. So this time we are traveling the plains of the Pampas with trying to deliver our cattle to the main train station in Buenos Aires. Look, it's going to be very similar to the original Great Western Trail, deck management, rondel mechanism, and the ability to upgrade your player board. But look, there's going to be some new twists, so I can't wait to see this one. Now let's move into the newer games that are going to be at Gencon, and the first one is an absolute beauty and it is Longboard by Rainer Knizia. So first up, it has Tristan Rossen artwork and he is one of my favourite artists, so I absolutely love that cover art. But in this, we are a surf shop. We are actually shaping and creating surfboards and we're trying to create the longest and best longboards we can to win the game. So this is going to be a drafting game. Look, I'm excited for it. It's going to look great on the table. It's going to be a great family game. Next up, look, I know nothing about the game, but I'm excited because of the pedigree of the designer and the artist, and we have for you Fit to Print. Now the designer is Peter McPherson, who brought us Tiny Towns, and the artist is none other than Ian O'Toole, so we are on a winner straight up already. Now in Fit to Print, we are in a charming woodland world, and we're running a newspaper, and we're trying to create the front page of this, this woodland newspaper. Look, this is going to be a puzzly tile laying game, and this looks incredible. Let's continue on with these puzzly games and let's go for a 3D spatial puzzle, and I have for you Castles by the Sea. So in this game, we're folk called shorelings and our job is to build and populate this seaside kingdom. We're going to be using these blocks and these meeples and we're going to be creating a 3D puzzle in front of us on the board. This is going to be very a la Santorini. Now this just looks like another wonderful family game, and as you can tell, I love family games, so this one's going to be a beauty. Next, let's move to a slightly heavier game, and we have for you Silicon Valley, and this is from designer Scott Arms, who brought us the Tiny Epic series. Now in Silicon Valley, we are budding entrepreneurs trying to build up a startup company. So in this game, we're going to be acquiring funding, hiring and firing staff, seeking investors, expanding our headquarters while trying not to go bankrupt and get our startup company up to $1 billion. 1 billion sounds pretty bloody nice to me. So there we go. It's going to be a 60-90 minute game with supposedly an innovative solo mode. Look, it has me intrigued. The next one. My daughter would be so upset with me if I didn't add this one in. If you know the names Twilight Sparkle, Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy, then you already have an idea. We are talking about My Little Pony Adventures in Equestria Deck-building game. Now in this game, we're going to be traveling amongst different locations throughout Ponyville, getting new cards, improving our deck, completing tasks for resources and overcoming obstacles. Family games with my daughter is my favourite time, and they're my favourite types of games to play, so My Little Pony is definitely high up on my must-see list. Let's move on to selling some carpet in a grand bazaar in Persia, and I have for you Tabriz. Tabriz is from designer Randy Flynn, who last brought us Cascadia, and Cascadia is such a well-loved game in this household. Now in Tabriz, we're weaving and selling luxurious carpets in this Persian city of Tabriz, with the end goal trying to earn the most prestige and become the master of your craft. So some of the actions include buying, trading, rolling dice for wool, camel hair, silk, plant dye. Such an interesting theme. This looks great. The next one is a CMON game, but this isn't probably the CMON game you're thinking of. This is Looney Tunes Mayhem. Now, first up, Looney Tunes as a theme? Hell yes, that is so awesome. But in this game, this is a character versus character team-based combat game with the end goal trying to get to 5 victory points, and you're going to get that by knocking out your opponents. So this is an absolute, bringing those classic characters that we knew and loved as kids into this battle, team-based battle system. It is fascinating. I can't wait to see what this looks like on the table. Now, if you've gotten this far, please stick with me. There's only 4 more left to go. But while we're here, let's quickly pause this. Let's go down, hit the like button. Look, that would mean so much and help me get this video out to more people. I'm only a small YouTuber and every single like and subscription helps. Now, let's go back to Neverland with this cooperative deduction game called Peter Pan. Peter Pan was designed by Mark Paquin, who's previously designed Yosemite and Treasure Island. And we know what he's done with Treasure Island, how great that is. Now, what can he do in the Peter Pan universe? So let's grab Peter Pan, Wendy, Tinkerbell, and let's go on a quest to find the lost children. Now, each player is going to have these lost cards, and these lost cards are going to help us, work together, give us clues to try and find these children. This game is going to be 8 up, and I just think, again, it's going to be a beautiful family game. The next 2 games are both wildlife photography games, and as a previous photographer, this is something that is close to my heart. The first one, Yosemite. And Yosemite has best Sobel artwork, which is already a great head start for the game. Now in this game, we are in the annual Yosemite National Park photo contest, where with our aim to take the most beautiful pictures of the park, impress the judges and win Photographer of the Year. So it's going to be a tense back and forth game. We've got a 5x5 grid where we're going to be positioning our camera around to try and get the best photos and impress those judges. So we're going to be fighting over the best campsites and landmarks. Look, it sounds like such a fun little game. Great theme, Yosemite. And the other game is Redwood. Now have a look at that cover art. This is already one of my favorite cover arts of all time, and the game isn't even released yet. It just looks so good. Now in Redwood, it is a game of movement estimations and angle of view where players are going to be trying to take pictures of wild animals to compose the most beautiful panorama. Again, fascinating, because this is going to now have angles. We're going to have to think about it, try not to scare off the animals and get that prized photo. Redwood. This is one of the most anticipated games of 2022. This is going to come out on Kickstarter very shortly, and I'm so excited for this one. And this brings us to my most anticipated game of Gencon 2022, and it is Maple Valley, the follow-on from Creature Comforts. Now, in Creature Comforts, we were hibernating away during winter. We're collecting all those nice cozy things to make us feel all warm and fuzzy while we were hibernating through those cold months. But now the last snowflake of winter has sort of gone away, and we're ready to celebrate the spring jamboree with our friends. So let's get outside, get that beautiful warmth into us, and let's celebrate Maple Valley. Oh, look, Creature Comforts it's now fast becoming my favorite family game of all time. The kids love it, the theme is beautiful, the mechanics are fun for adults and for kids. It is just such a great game, and if Maple Valley can continue on that path, on that journey, I think this is going to be an absolute winner in this household. Now, this is my most anticipated game of Gencon 2022, but to be honest, it's probably one of my most anticipated games of 2022, period. Anyway, that is my list. Let me know in the comments below, what games out of this list are you most excited for? I'm Hoax, this is Board Game Bangers. Till next time, laters.